Eagles! Eagles! Yes. We control our own destiny. We don't need other teams to do anything for us. You got all these scenarios in the NFL right now where everybody needs help from somebody else to go here or there. Get in, where they sit, can they even get in? For us, it was win and get in, and that's what we did. Now, I would be disingenuous to act like the beginning of the game didn't give me some concern. I was like, okay, what are we going to do to win this game, or what are we going to do to lose it? I said in the previous two videos that Washington is a divisional competitor. They don't care that they have nothing to play for. They don't care that there's no seeding implications for them. They don't care that their season is over. They do not want the Eagles to win. The Giants, the Cowboys, and the Commanders will play us like their life depends on it every single time, okay? And that's what they did tonight. But what did we do? We adjusted. We came back and we did what we were supposed to do to win that game, right? The run was all but absent. We had lots of passing and good passing. We were moving the ball. We weren't going 3 and out. We had sustained drives, but we couldn't make points of it because, unfortunately, Jake is really falling off. I am so sad to see this because Jake has been here since the first Super Bowl with Nick Foles. And that's a lot of time to kick him. It used to be over-reliable. You know, if you can get it within 50, in between 50 and 60, and you need it, Jake could make it happen for you. But now, I mean, Jake really hurt the momentum and hurt us at the beginning of the game. Because that was like, what, 6 or 9 points that he left on the board that we could have had? Other than that, I thought that we did very well. You're going to have drop passes. You're going to have miscues. But it's how you let it define the entire game that lets you know what it's going to be, right? So, honey, turn that down a little bit. Oh, that's not you. That's the TV. Okay. No problem. Don't worry about it. I thought that was the tablet. It's how you let those moments define you that really show what's going to be, okay? You can't worry about what happened with the Raiders. Don't expect to shut out any team is what I meant to say, all right? That's why I said last week, don't let people dismiss that achievement because it's hard to shut out any professional team. Usually they get 3, some garbage time points or whatever, but they got nothing. And they had played other teams tough. So I was happy with that performance, and I'm happy with tonight's performance. We really got the ship going, and we ran the ball. I was like, yo, what are we doing? Why aren't we running? I was screaming at the spot, screaming. Why are we throwing it? That long bomb to AJ, instead of throwing it out when it could have been an interception, before he'd even released the ball, I said, this is a bad call. Throwing it is a bad call. Run it and see what you can make of it, and if you can't make anything, kick it. Thank God there was a penalty. But I knew off rip that was the wrong call. Then a lot of people kept crying about Saquon, right? There was like, Saquon doesn't have it, and Saquon this and Saquon that. I said, are you guys watching the game? Watch how on this play, our O-line shoulder checks a guy and then he blows by. And then he meets Saquon in the backfield. Watch how even if our O-line is trying to block, the assignment is missed and the guy gets free. Sometimes 2 or 3 defenders would break free and stop Saquon. I said, if Saquon can get a block, 4 or more yards will happen. And the instant we started getting blocks or he went to the top or went to the bottom, we had positive yards. People just aren't looking at it, right? They're so emotional. They're so in the moment. And analysts and everybody will be like, oh, it's the Commanders. Again, they'll say that. But it's not the Commanders. It's what you make of the game. It's what you make of the moment that defines your success or your failure. Do you hold up your end of the assignment? Case in point. Hurts throws one to Saquon behind him, right? Saquon had momentum. If that was a good thrown ball, Saquon was in motion and he could have made 2, 4, 6 yards of that, maybe. Not saying that would have been a breakaway, but it would have been something. Then the next throw, Saquon drops it, where he could have got maybe 2 yards or whatever, because he only had one guy to beat. And you see when Saquon has one guy to beat, he's very hard to bring down. Very. Look at the play where he only had one guy to beat and he spun off of him and made that long run. And then after he reminds me of the Juggernaut, right? They always say the Juggernaut is almost impossible to stop, or he is impossible to stop. So not exactly like the Juggernaut, but that's a way for me to phrase it. Saquon's in motion and now he has legs behind him and speed behind him. When people try to bring him down, it's so much harder. He's bouncing off of defenders. He's throwing them off. He's stiff-arming them. He's doing everything he can do to make more yards. And this was the story of last year that I don't think people realize. Saquon had so many yards before contact. And then once people started trying to tackle him, they couldn't get him down. Think about that Commanders game in the NFC Championship, where it's a pitch and he runs up. He gets past the line of scrimmage. One guy tries to tackle him, spins off. Another guy tries to tackle him. He breaks free, and he goes all the way to the house for that 60-yard, one play, 60-yard touchdown. And there were many instances of that last year. The O-line was the key to his success last year and the key to all these long runs with Tank Bigsby and everybody else. If they can meet their assignment, there will be success with the passing, with the running, with the decision-making for Jalen. You know, if he has an extra second. There were times where they were coming right at him, and I was so happy to see Jalen break off in a lot of instances and make long runs, right? Still have some costly penalties. Got to clean that up. But this Eagles team can beat anybody. I'm just trying to tell you. This Eagles team can beat anybody. They can beat the Bills next week if they play heads up, lights out football. A mix of good passing and throwing. They can beat whoever the AFC person is in the Super Bowl, and they can beat anybody in the NFC. They can beat the Rams. They can beat the Seahawks. As long as they play and make adjustments, okay? I'm not saying it'll be smooth. It wasn't smooth at the beginning of this. But adjustments to how you're being played are all the difference in the world, right? As good as Vic Fangio's defense is, there are times where he has to make adjustments in order to clamp down on the team because they're running all over the defense. Like that Bears game where there were like 200 yards rushing, or I think it was over 200 yards rushing. Wasn't making that much on the throwing, but rushing, they killed us. You got to make adjustments. But oh my goodness. One win and we were in, that's what we got. First repeat since McNabb did it in, what was it, 04, 05, something like that? 20, I think it was 04 because they said 21 years. You make your own destiny. And that's what we did. I'm so happy. So happy. Now, depending on what happens tonight, we could be fighting for the 2 seed, which would give us 2 home games instead of just 1, which I would love. That's how we had it last year. We were the 2 seed and we had home games all the way until the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome. If we have that opportunity, I say we keep playing our starters. If we don't have that opportunity, I think we rest them. Lane and Landon and Jalen Carter and whoever needs a break can get their break. You know, whoever needs to heal and be 100% for the playoffs can get that rest. That's if there are still seeding implications after tonight's game between the Bears and the Packers. I think we need Packers to win in order for us to have a real chance at it, because if the Bears win, they're too far ahead. I don't care where we go, on the road or not. I know we can do it. I'm just saying I'd love to have home field advantage the whole way through. And it's not to say even with the 3 seed we couldn't do it, because depending on who loses in the first round, you might get it in the second round. You might. You never know. If one of the lower seeds beats a higher seed in the first round, we could have a home game in the second in the divisional. It's wild card divisional conference championship Super Bowl, yeah. So we could have one. Whatever is in line for us, that's what we need to do. Okay? Face the opponent that you have in front of you. Don't worry about next week's game. Don't even worry about 3 plays. Something I mentioned at the spot was QBs and teams need to understand that 9 times out of 10, you can't win the game with 1 throw or 1 play. Sometimes you can if it's that last play of the game where you need it, but I'm talking about when you're in the second quarter or third quarter and you're down and, you're trying to make a miracle happen. That's not necessary in the second and third quarter. Play your game, do your thing, and make the other team adjust to you, right? Get your long sustained drives and actual points, and then don't worry about what they do. Take the game as it comes to you. You only have to worry about that if it's like 2 seconds left or 3 seconds left or last play, gotta have it, that kind of thing. That's when it's time for some hero ball or some miracle or whatever. But not in the second and third quarter just because you're down. Play your game. How many games had Josh Allen been down 20 points in the last couple of weeks? 3 times? And they steadily fought back and won it. The Seahawks were down 16 points in the fourth. You couldn't make it all up in one. They went for their 2-point conversions and all of this and used the clock to their advantage. That's how you got to play. Don't worry about playing hero ball. I don't want Jalen to have to worry about playing hero ball. I want them to play our game. And our game is a strong mix of running and throwing. Oh, my God. What a game. What a performance. Let's look at this. 29-18. Of course, they got that stupid 18 because Keely Ringo committed that atrocious pass interference. They were like 3rd and 26 or 3rd and 20, 26, something like that. We could have got the ball back and stopped that score and maybe get scored again, but whatever. Jalen was 22 of 30. I like that. 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, thank God. Rating of 111. Saquon, 21 for 132. What do I say? In between 17, 18 to 25 runs is his sweet spot, 21 for 132. Jalen was 7 for 40. I had already mentioned that. He took off running when the pressure was there and slid instead of taking contact. When he did fumble the ball, he got it. Now, you would have thought that after that double turnover game, he would have just fell on the ground, but he didn't. But he got the ball back. Thank God for that. Tank Bigsby, 4 for 37. He was going at it. Tanner McKee had 2 carries for -2, but that's all right. That was at the end of the game. AJ, 9 for 95. Smitty dropped one in the end zone. Oh, that was another painful drop for us. Smitty dropped one in the end zone. Goddard had 3 for 32. Listen, that one play that we kept hurting ourselves with penalties. First of all, listen. The brotherly shove, we don't have to worry about them outlawing it next year now. I don't know if they're doing this on purpose or what, but you don't have to worry about it because it is so ineffective right now. I don't know if it's because we're hurt, we're undisciplined, every team has figured it out. I don't know. But the Commanders tonight and the Lions and everybody is just like stopping it. We can't even get inches on this thing anymore. But we commit a false start. We get backed up. we commit a holding because we threw it and I think it was Smitty. It was either Smitty or Jahan caught the touchdown, but backed up again. Just all kinds of penalties. But when you gotta have it, Jalen Hurts finds Dallas Goedert in the end zone, and that was almost knocked out. You see the defender's hand was pretty much right there, but they made the play. Mwah! Excellent. Jahan was 3 for 13. Will Shipley was 1 for 3. Saquon didn't catch any. But here's one thing I want to mention while we're talking about receiving. I don't like that we have the people out there, and it's like we're never going to go to them. Calcaterra and all these other guys. You watch some of the other games with the QBs, and yeah, you have some like the Rams who are going to throw the Puka Nacua 100 times. But then you have other teams that really spread the ball around, and everybody's a threat. If everybody's a threat, the defense has to play you differently. We need to make sure that at least AJ, Devontae, Dallas, Jahan, and maybe Calcaterra are threats. They can play Saquon a little loose. He's not a receiver. He has caught some nice balls that have been positive yards for us, but he's really not a receiver. Okay, he's our running back. He's amazing at that. Our defense, again, lights out. Defense, lights freaking out. That fumble at the beginning kind of reminded me of the Packers game, the wildcard Packers game, where first thing is we knocked it out and then we controlled the game. And it looked like at first like they were going to be in control of it. But we steadied the ship and we got it right. Let's see, Commanders. Mariota was 7 for 14, 95 yards, and Josh Johnson was 5 for 9. Rodriguez Jr. had 15 for 63. Krosky Merritt, if I'm saying it right, 8 for 25. Terry McLaurin was 3 rushes for 53, really effective. Debo, that one catch. It was good defense by Coop, but Debo pinned the ball against his side and kept going. It was good defense. It was a good catch. I mean, you give credit where credit is due. Good momentum by them, but we had to shut that down. Coop, didn't Coop get an interception? I believe Coop got an interception. We'll go back to the Eagles. Coop did get an interception. Yep, Coop got one. And it didn't get called back on some foolishness. I was looking for flags all over. Flag. No flags. Jake, we mentioned it at the beginning. 0 for 2. 0 for 2. So I thought he messed up 9 points for us, but he messed 6 points up for us. You got to get those, Jake. You have to get those. Honest to God, brother. Clean it up. We talked about this last year where it looked like you had the jitters, but then you cleaned it up in the postseason. There's no guarantee we can rely on that. Because we still have 2 games. Well, I mean, I guess it is because we are in the postseason regardless. But we need to make sure that your legs are right for the postseason. Yes, honey? You got the jingles on your little headband? I know. We love Christmas. Excellent game, 29-18. So the Cowboys are out. And I saw a funny skit by Annie, I can't think of her last name, Anger or something like that. I apologize if I'm butchering it. But on her Cowboys portion, she was like, we're still in it, guys. What do we have to do to win? And then the NFL person that she also plays says, the Commanders have to win twice. And said, we're out. That's right, because the Eagles got it. The Eagles got it, honey. So we're 10-5 with the potential to go 12-5, which was my prediction at the beginning. If we beat the Bills, we're looking fantastic for heading into the postseason. Or if we even play them tight, I think that we are looking good. We have to take these last 2 games seriously. Honest to God. Have to take every opponent seriously. I think that's it. I really don't have a long drawn out thing for tonight, other than watch the game. Okay, watch what happens. Watch what are the deterring factors for why we're successful, like no blocking, or penalties, or drop passes, or miscommunication from Hurts, or short throws or whatever, throws that aren't right. Some throws aren't right, and like that interception that got called back. Some aren't right. So there are mistakes that everybody needs to clean up. Everybody. It's a team sport. It's a team effort. Everybody's got to get right. But you can't look at Eagles as bums by any means. You can't. You have to take them seriously. And Eagles, you have to take every one of your opponents seriously. Oh! And we need to put together a full game of passing and running. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the rest of the weekend, how it shapes out. I'm comfortable knowing we're in, but I can't wait to see the rest of the weekend, how it shapes out. Ready? Fly, Eagles, fly, go Birds, right, honey? Say, fly, Eagles, fly, go Birds. What are you trying to do? Push it?